Hi guys, I'm going to walk you through a resource today that's going to help keep you organized as you're reading through articles. And it's a way to capture notes and evidence about what you're reading in an online platform. The website's called Meister. So you can go ahead and type this into your Google search, or you can type it right into your toolbar. I'm going to walk you through how to use it in just a second. It's going to ask you to log in with your Google email. So please go ahead and use your MS442 account and get logged in. Should take you a minute or two. It'll bring you to a home page. What I'm going to ask you to do is create a new mind map today, if you decide to use this tool, and stick with the blank template for now until you get a hang of what you can do with this resource. So I'm going to click blank, and it's going to take me to a new mind map. Remember, throughout this process, we've been researching different topics. And the first thing I'd like you to do is start with your topic. For example, I'm going to use food waste as my first topic. I'm reading an article today called Recycling the Leftovers from the New York Times on May 2014. So I know already that my topic is food waste. What I also want to make sure that I have included in my MindMeister is the article that I'm reading today. So I'm going to add an idea up here with this plus tab. And it's going to branch off a little web for me. And the next thing I want to do is make sure that I copy down the title of the article so that you can go back to it later if you need to. This will also come in handy when you're citing evidence as you're writing your argumentative essay. You want to make sure that you have where the article came from and when it was written. So I've got a great start already. If I would like to change some colors, or if I want to put a little bit of additional notes to myself, I can highlight this, and I can actually make the text a different color. But if I don't like yellow, and I know I can't really see it, you can click the undo button, and it'll revert back to normal. I'm going to allow you guys to play around with this for a little while. There's styles that you can change with the font, and you can even put the text in the background in a different color. So right now I'm highlighting the background. Let's say I want to turn that green so that I know it's the article and not the actual topic that I'm looking at. So as I'm reading, I've come across some really interesting information. It says here in the article, Americans threw away more than 36 million tons of food in 2012, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. This is something I want to copy down and put into my MindMeister account. So I'm going to copy this information, because I think it might help me make my case that food waste is a huge issue in America. I want to stay on this idea, but I also want to include something below it. Remember, this is all coming from the same article, so I want my ideas to be branching out of Recycling the Leftovers, New York Times. So I'm going to add an idea there. I'm going to paste my information. Americans threw away more than 36 million tons of food, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. See there? I've taken my evidence from the article, and I know that because it's linked to this article here, that it all relates back to the Recycling the Leftovers from the New York Times article. I found an additional piece of evidence that I'd like to use, still from the same article. This next paragraph here, even 15% of the food being discarded would be enough to feed 25 million people at a time, when 1 in every 6 Americans does not always have enough food to eat. Again, related to my same article, I'm going to not stick with this highlighted evidence, but I'm going to go back to the article and add another idea down below. Now I know that this piece of evidence also connects back to the same article I was reading before. You're allowed to manipulate this evidence as you choose. And again, if you'd like to color code some of the things that relate to your article, that's great. You can use these emoji faces if you want to, whether this piece of evidence is sad or positive or negative. Let's say this is a good piece of evidence. I want to get rid of that sad face. I can get rid of him by clicking delete. Oops, I don't want to do that. I'm going to refresh. You can change the emoji face by just clicking on it. But this isn't great information. that 15% of the food being discarded could feed 25 million people at one time. So I'm going to change this to kind of a sad face for the next. There's tons of things that you can do with this website, and you feel free to play around with it a little bit. But again, remember that you're trying to capture some important information from each of these articles that you read, and Meister is a great way to keep yourself organized. Finally, once you're done, you're going to click down here at the bottom. There are a few different ways that you can go about saving and sharing this. You can invite people. Once you're finished today, I'm going to ask you to type in my email address as well as Mr. Fetters. So we can take a look. Or you can get a link to share and email it to us from here. When you're ready to move on from this article or from this MindMeister account, you can publish your map and it'll save it to your home account. You can look through the share settings if you want to. Just make sure that you click done so that on your home page, when you go back to it, it'll be there for you. Click the checkbox to save it. When I go back to my home page, it'll still be there waiting for me. Good luck. Play around with it. If you have any questions or make any mistakes, please let us know and we can help you out.